Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining me. I'm Cheryl. This is Your Journey Yoga. I am excited to have you here today. We are going to do a fun exploration of all the different kinds of pigeon pose. So from a modified pigeon pose to king pigeon, which I love, but just an amazing stretch. And when we apply the different avenues of getting into and moving within, it just changes it all. And it adds so many wonderful different dimensions to this stretch. So be very, very mindful because it is a really decent hip and hip flexor stretch, making sure that your back is happy. I will show you modifications for that, and make sure that those knees are happy. So if today's not a great day for pigeon pose, we're going to spend a fair amount of time there. So maybe put this one on a to-do list when the knees are a little bit happier. Feel free to give it a whirl. Your knees might surprise you and be like, hey, this is exactly what I need, but please be mindful and err on the side of caution. If your knees are saying, please, this isn't the best place for me to be today, honor that. And I got lots of videos to choose from, so pick a different one. And then come back when you're ready. With that being said, if you're ready, I hope you have some water handy, and I hope you are in a space where you've got some room to move. We will stay low, so there's not going to be getting in and out and up and down, that kind of thing. We're going to take that left leg and we're going to sweep it around behind. So we make like a letter Z, if you will. And I just want you to sit up nice and tall. So this is a great way to check in with those knees. If already you're like, wow, this just isn't a great place for me to be, option here is to extend that back leg. Okay, so right leg extends if you're following with me. Otherwise, it's just that back leg. Extend it out. You can do the same thing. So we sit up nice and tall. Chest is kind of facing almost over that left knee. If the knee is backing around, sit up nice and tall. Breathe. So we're checking in with the hip crease. We're checking in with that outer hip. We're checking in with the knees and the ankles and that lower back. Now, if it feels good to you, if you need to adjust, adjust, and we're going to walk those hands forward. Right out over that left knee. Now, you can stack your hands, you can stack fists. If you have a pillow or a blanket or a block, you can absolutely do that. If you're like, oh my gosh, this feels amazing, you can extend those arms out. So our modified sleeping pigeon. Find that breath. And let's slowly walk the hands back up. Checking in again. So as we come up, has it shifted at all? Has that intensity left? Has it changed? Breathe. So now we're going to keep that core strong. We're going to lift our hands and we're going to switch sides. So we're just going to move those knees from one side to the other. And again, if you need to adjust, adjust. And we sit up nice and tall. Now again, that left leg, that back leg, how is it? How's the knee? If you need to extend that left leg out, do so. If it's good behind, keep it that way. We lengthen and sit up nice and tall. Checking in with that hip crease, the groin, the knees, the ankles, the lower back. And again, if you like, start to walk those hands forward. So again, we can stack our fists. We can use that bolster or pillow or blanket. We can start to lower down. And it might be different on this side than it was the other side. Just take notice. Don't judge. And let's slowly walk those hands back up. And again, we shift those knees. Whoop, up and over. And let's come up onto all fours and sit it to child's pose. So just a nice little break for those hips, the hip flexors. As you're ready, extend those arms out nice and long. We're going to lift the forehead, tuck the toes, press and lift the hips to the sky, coming up to our downward facing dog. We shift our weight to our left foot, right toes to the sky. And as you exhale, sweep that right knee through, foot to the inside. So now we're going to come to our true pigeon pose. We're going to keep those toes tucked underneath us in the back. How is that right knee? Is this a good place for us to be? How about the lower back? Is lifting the chest a good place to be, or do we need to bring those hands forward? Finding that breath. So we get this added little bonus of those toes tucked underneath and that stretch for the feet, the arch of the foot and those toes. Now let's untuck those back toes and just let your foot rest. Breathe. Now we can adjust that upper body however you need. If you like, nice and tall, extend those arms out to a T. Our flying pigeon. So we're going to strengthen that lower back a little bit. If it's right for you, begin to hinge it forward and sweep your arms back to flight. We lengthen through the crown of the head. We reach through those fingertips. We're active through that upper and middle back. Breathe. Let's rotate the palms towards the ground. Release your hands. Keep lengthening through the crown of the head. Slowly lowering the upper body down. Now, if you need to pull those hands forward to stack the hands, you can do that. If the forehead can come down, let it come down. If you need a block, a bolster, a pillow, whatever it is, allow that to happen. We bring the hands behind the back, interlacing the fingers. And again, if you need a strap, or if you happen to have a dog leash handy, whatever you need, if the shoulders are really tight, take a hold of that. Otherwise, interlace those fingers. Let's roll those shoulders up and back and lift the hands towards the sky. Now we find this stretch to the chest and the shoulders. Is that intensity right? Sleeping pigeon is always just a great place to be. You do not have to add the arms. Slowly bringing the hands to the small of the back. Let's extend those arms out overhead. Big breaths. Inhale, lift just slightly. Let's take that left hand and reach underneath that right arm, walking the hand out as far as you can, turning and placing the left side of your head down towards the mat. Threading the needle in our pigeon pose. Find your breath. Close your eyes and breathe. Let's slowly pull that right hand back in, lifting just enough to pull the arm back through and come back up nice and tall. Right hand to the outside of that right knee, left arm extends out. Circle it around, and let's draw that back foot in. Taking a hold of that back foot if you can find it, and draw your heel in towards your bottom. Gazing out over that left shoulder a bit. If that's not great for your neck, yep, you can look straight ahead. If it feels right to you, you can pull that foot into the crook of the elbow and spin your fingertips towards the sky. We turn and take our gaze forward and extend right arm out. Feels good to you? Lift that right arm high. Reach back. Can you find your fingertips? Lock them if you can find them, and take your gaze towards the sky. King pigeon or mermaid. Just find that breath, you guys. Not forcing things to happen that aren't ready to happen. Celebrating all of the amazing things that your body will do today. Releasing the hands, slowly releasing that foot. Up and over with that left arm. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, sweep it back, and extend that right leg to the sky. Point and flex your foot, roll your ankle, give your leg a little shake. And then gently release it down. Just for giggles, let's do a half flow here. Inhaling it to high plank. Crocodile down. Press it through up dog. And exhale to down dog. And we shift our weight to our right foot, left toes to the sky. Exhaling and sweeping that left knee through, foot to the inside. Pigeon pose. So now we're on that left side. How does it feel? We're going to tuck those toes, and we're going to stretch through the arch of the foot and through those toes. A little deeper stretch in that hip flexor for me on this right side with those toes tucked under. Making sure that that lower back is happy. Do we need to come forward a little bit? Or are you good being up? Always taking care, right? We never want to aggravate or injure or anything. So if something is not quite as we wish it were in our bodies today, you guys, it's okay. It's about showing yourself grace. It's about showing yourself kindness and being mindful in your movements. It's just today. It's a blip in time. It's a moment. Untuck those toes. Let the top of the foot come to rest. So again, we can stay with those hands forward if you need to, or extend those arms out to a T. If that's too much on that lower back, guys, it's just too much, and it's okay. Core is strong. Making sure that we're doing our best to let go through those hips. Breathe. We begin to lengthen through the crown of the head as we hinge forward. Long through the spine and sweep those arms back to flight. Lengthen through those fingertips. Strong through that belly. You guys feel the strength. Making sure that the knees are happy. Now slowly let the back of the hands come down. And slowly release the weight of the upper body down. Now if you need to bring those hands forward, yeah, bring them forward. If you have a block or a pillow or a bolster and you want to put that underneath the forehead, make that happen. Breathe. Do your best to just let yourself surrender in here. Now do we need that strap? If you do, grab it. If you like, bring the hands behind your back, interlacing your fingers. We roll those shoulders up and back, lifting your hands towards the sky. So making sure that your body says, yes, this is good. This is the right place for me to be. This may be challenging, but it's the right place to be. And slowly bring the hands back down. Releasing the hands, extending those arms out nice and long. Just let yourself melt in here. Adjust however you need to. And we lift you slightly. And we take that right hand and we reach it underneath the left arm, walking your fingertips out as far as you can walk. And then turn and place that right side of your head to the mat. Left arm extends out and just let your body weight be heavy. Breathe. And we pull that left hand back in, gently pressing yourself back up. Hand on either side of your knee. Left hand remains to the outside of the knee, right arm extends out. Circle it around, and let's draw that back foot in. Taking a hold of that back foot if you can find it, along the inside or the arch of your foot if you're able, and gently pull your heel in. Hello, quadricep. Hip flexors. Front of the shoulder. Keeping that core strong. If it feels right to you, pull that foot into the crook of the elbow and spin your fingertips towards the sky. Again, our gaze can be back towards that back hand, or we can be looking forward. Breathe. You decide what feels good to you. If you like, gaze forward. Extend that left arm out, palm to the sky. And we begin to lift that left arm as we lift our gaze, reaching up and back. Can you find your fingertips? Lock them if you can find them. Breathe. Such a pretty pose. Love this pose. Feels so good. Some days not so much, so celebrate those days when it does. Gently release. Circling that right arm back up and over. Hand on either side of your knee. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, sweep it back. Extend left leg to the sky. Point and flex your foot to roll your ankle. Give that leg a little shake. And gently release it down to down dog. Let's inhale it to high plank. Crocodile down. Press it through up dog. And sit it back to child's pose. Breathe. And slowly walk your hands up. Come over onto one hip. Sweep your feet around and slide on down towards the top of your mat. Let's bring the hands behind the thighs and just rock it back. All the way down, pulling those knees in towards the chest, shifting your hands to your shins just below your knees, pull it in. Breathe. So a reclined pigeon pose. Ah, these feel good. Extending that left leg out and down. We're going to open up that right knee and we're going to reach down with that left hand, taking a hold at the ankle, making sure that we're not taking a hold of our foot and sickling that ankle too much. I'd rather have you up towards your shin or at the top of the ankle, and then use that right hand to just gently press that right knee out and away. Left hand to pull that foot in towards you. Breathe. Now you can take that right hand and reach it underneath that right calf and use that for support as well, and just gently draw it in. So again, we're supporting more at the calf, the shin, rather than pulling on that foot. You should be able to flex your foot easily. We don't want to put too much strain on those ligaments and tendons in the ankle. And gently release, extending that right leg, pulling that left knee in. Just pull it in. And we reach down with that right hand, taking a hold again above the ankle so we're not pulling on the foot. And we're going to take that left hand and gently press that left knee out and away. So some strength in the arms as we're doing this. Little rotation of the head of the femur in that hip socket. A great stretch to that hip crease. Now again, if you like, reach that left hand underneath that left calf and use that support, pulling it in. And again, we should be able to flex that left foot. Point and flex should have total mobility in that foot. Should be able to roll the ankle. So we're not pulling on that foot. Pressing that left knee out and away. And gently release, pulling both knees in towards your chest, hands to your shins, just below your knees, and just gently rock side to side. So some different variations of our pigeon pose. Hopefully those were kind of fun, and those hips are just super happy, warm, and feeling good. Let's bring the hands behind the thighs, rock yourself up, and let's turn and face front. So hopefully there were some fun different variations for you there. And the body says, yep, thank you. That was a good place for me to be. The hips are happy and healthy and always remain that way. I know some days they're happier than others, but hopefully today is one of those happiest days. I want you to be well, my friends. Take care of yourselves, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me today. Until the next time, namaste.